Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another edition of our Tuesday night Skype shiur tonight on Wednesday night. Tonight's special edition about Lag BaOmer we're studying, and we'd like to dedicate tonight's shiur Refuah Shlema for Rivka Bat Sheina, Gil Nomi Bat Leah Malka, and Elisheva Bat Sheva Bat Rivka. We'd like to wish a Mazel Tov to the Dune family on the birth of a baby girl. Hashem, welcome to the Dune family.
Mazal Tov.
Mazal Tov. And tonight, Be'ezrat Hashem, we're going to study a little bit about Lag BaOmer, about Rashbi and Rabbi Akiva and Iskarat Omer. Special shiur tonight we've prepared. So Lag BaOmer is going to be Be'ezrat Hashem this year on Motzei Shabbat. So it's going to be following Shabbat, and it's a very special day. A lot of things change on Lag BaOmer. It's the end of the period of Avelut of the Omer. Start with listening to music. We start taking haircuts again. We shave, do smachot. So I thought basically this is the time really to think about the message behind the Omer and what's behind Lag BaOmer. So I'm going to start a little bit about the Gemara on in the Yevamot, and then maybe work our way to the Gemara in Shabbat, seeing on how much time we have. Okay, everyone's with me?
Yes.
Tell me if you can hear me clearly. Please stop me if you can't. This my audio is very weak on here.
Yeah, you can hear clearly.
Thank you, Mayor. So the Gemara says in Yevamot, there was 24,000 Talmidim of Rabbi Akiva. That means there was 12,000 pairs, Zugot. And Kulan Metu B'Perek Echad, they all died in one period of time, between Pesach and Atzeret. That means between Pesach and Chag HaShavuot. And this really was a tremendous big tragedy in Am Yisrael. Why? If you think about it, the Talmidim of Rabbi Akiva, they were the ones that have all the Torah Baal Peh. Moshe Rabbeinu gave us the Torah Shebichtav, all the 5 books of the Torah. And all the Torah that we have today, the Mishnayot, the Gemara, the Zohar, the Midrash, everything, all the Torah Shebabiyah where we have, is just from the remaining 5 Talmidim of Rabbi Akiva. That means these 24,000, all of them died, Kulam. And then there was only left 5, then Rabbi Akiva started again fresh, went to the Tzafon, he started another 5 Talmidim, Rabbi Yossi, Rabbi Meir, Rabbi Elazar ben Shammua, and Rabbi Shimon bar Yochai, and Rabbi Yehuda. These were the 5 Talmidim of Rabbi Akiva. From them, the whole Torah. And that's just from 5. Imagine if we would have had 24,000, how much Torah we would have in the world. And we have to, that's really what we're mourning now. We're mourning the loss of the Torah. This is a big chelik that we've lost. And we have to really learn the lesson from that. Every year we're mourning again, and it's tragic that it's not just something we've lost to Am Yisrael, but it's something that we need to fix. We have to understand, especially us when we're learning Torah. Why did Hashem decide to kill all the Talmidim of Rabbi Akiva? Why would Hashem do that? If they were learning Torah, that's the greatest thing that the person can do. And why did Hashem? He didn't want their Torah. Hashem said, I'm not interested in your Torah. And all of them died. And these were great, amazing Geonim, the geniuses in Torah, the Kedoshim Elyon, Tzadikim, on the level of the Talmidim of Rabbi Akiva. So the Gemara really tells us the answer. And this is what I want to speak about mainly tonight. Does anyone remember the Gemara? Gilad?
שלא נהגו כבוד זה בזה.
Exactly. מפני שלא נהגו כבוד זה לזה. They didn't have kavod, literally means the respect for one another. וכולם מתו מפסח עד עצרת. Each one, they all died from this period of time. So we really need to really speak about what is kavod. But just to speak about a little bit on the remez of it, the Maharal brings the pasuk. There's a pasuk in Mishlei. Mishlei says, Orech Yamim B'Yimina, the Torah is long life. Orech Yamim B'Yimina. On one side, you have on Yamin. Yamina is the right hand. You have Orech Yamim, which is long life. And on the left hand, it will be Bismillah, Osher V'Chavod. V'Chavod means respect. בכבוד. And he's saying, כאשר לא נהגו כבוד בתורה, ניטל מהם אורח חיים. When they didn't have respect and כבוד for each other for the Torah, that's when they lost their life. They lost the other side of the אורח ימים. So you go to the side of אורח ימים, and you go to the side of עושר וכבוד. 1 second, please. So, if we talk about the kavod, when did it stop this time? So it stopped on Lag BaOmer. The death died on Lag BaOmer, which means for 32 days they died. And between the period of Pesach and Shavuot is when the time we're building up for the Torah, where we're preparing ourselves for the Torah. And really this is a principle, as we're building up to the Torah, this is when the time of the dinim was on them, because they weren't really a vessel, a kli made ready for being mikabel the Torah. And this is really one of our how could you call it? One of our chovot, one of our duties, that when we're preparing for Chag HaShavuot to receive the Torah, we have to make ourselves to improve our midot, our character, and to make ourselves a kli. A kli means a vessel ready to accept and to be ready to be mikabel the Torah. And that's why we have a main kavod. One in fact we do in the Knesset. Why do we read every week? There's been all of Israel, not only the Moroccan, but also the Ashkenazim, the Sfaradim, Hasidim. Everyone reads Pirkei Avot. Pirkei Avot is a time of Hachana preparation for Kabbalat Torah. So here we see the principle is that Derech Eretz Kadma Torah, and there needs to be Kavod. So what's very interesting, Remez, Kavod. What's the gematria of Kavod? Let's do it together. Chaf is 20. Bet is
2, Vav is 6, and Dalet is 4.
So how much together?
So 22, 34?
No, try again.
Kaf it's 20, Bet it's 2, 22, Vav it's 6, 28, and Dalet 32.
32, very good, excellent. So Kavod is Gematria 32. So this is connected the 32 days the Talmidim died, because they didn't have Kavod. So they all died in that period of time of before Lag BaOmer, like the 33rd day of the Omer. So that's when they stopped dying. And there's another remez that he brings down from the Sefer of Yudchet Be'iyar. Yudchet Be'iyar is the day of Lag BaOmer. Lag BaOmer is on the 18th of Iyar. Yudchet obviously is Chai. That is Yudchet Chai. Chai Be'iyar. And Iyar is gematria of Orech. Orech Chai, of Orech Yamim. Orech is the life. So here you have like a remez to the time of the period when they died. Now I just want to stress this point very clearly. What does it mean, like on the day of Lag BaOmer they stopped dying? It doesn't just mean that they stopped dying on this day because it's a special day of Rachamim. It seems that Hashem, He wanted to kill all of them in this period of time, this 32 days, right? And this is really an ashkafa. Ashkafa means, the way we see life, when a person sees tragedy, or, when we see terrorists in the Am Yisrael, how can it be like this? And, everyone says names, the animals, what they're doing, how can they just kill children, and they can go into a synagogue, and when people are praying and they kill them. Me living in Yerushalayim, I've seen, the effects. I see it in front of my eyes. I see how people respond. And some people, they just say, oh, Hashem Yerachem. Really, Hashem has Racham, we should have Rachamim, and how can you let these, behemoth animals just come in and kill Am Yisrael? But really, the true way of looking at it is Hashem doesn't let them do it. Hashem sends them. Hashem is the one who does it, and Hashem, obviously sends it for a reason and to make us aware. And you have to realize, this is a message in for us. We're here to see that there is terrorists in the world, and we're supposed to do something about it. And at the time when the Talmidim are really Kiva, they died, Hashem killed all of them in this period of time. Now, if we do the maths, 32 days to kill 24,000 Talmidei Chachamim. So we're averaging about 800 to 900 levayot every day. Okay, that's an enormous amount. And, that is a very clear message. Obviously people coming to Rabbi Akiva at the time and saying, Rabbi Akiva, we need to do something. Let's make a change. We need to do something to stop it. So I'm sure everyone had their own ideas of making chizuk in tzniut or chizuk in limud Torah, chizuk in saying barachot. Everyone had their own ideas and everyone was trying to make it together. But nothing worked. And they all died. And the Gemara said that they didn't stop dying until they actually all died. So that means nothing that they did they actually fixed anything. Now, all the avirot chamorot, there is din. But what happened in the end? The Gemara tells us, how. The Gemara says, why did they die? Because lo nagu kavod ze bazeh. Now I want to explain it. I want to talk a little bit about this and the message behind it. This is really what we need to be learning tonight. We need to learn about the importance of being noheg kavod, treating your friends. We are in the shiur together. We learn every Tuesday night, and we're learning Torah. But also in the keilah, with members, we have to have respect for each other. Otherwise we haven't improved anything. We haven't done anything. And Hashem said, kol hakavod for all your Torah, all your talmidim, but this is not what I want. And if there's no respect and there's no kavod, I'm not interested. And everyone died. So, I want to ask the following question. The Torah is magen or matzil. What does that mean? Torah is a protection. It's a shield. We have in Israel we have something which is called kippat barzel. In English, I think it's called Iron Dome. Iron Dome, right? It's a protection shield. Okay, it stops missiles. And this kippat barzel is magen, but the Torah is meant to be a shield that it protects totally. Reb Chaim Kanievsky said, in Bnei Brak, where they're learning Torah, there's not going to fall any missiles, right? Until today, there hasn't been any missiles falling in Bnei Brak because the Torah is protecting. And we see this many places in the Torah, all over, in the Midrashim and the Gemarot and the Rishonim, that the Torah is a protection. So the following question to you, which I'm going to point tonight. If the Torah is a protection, Magen U'Matzil, we see with David HaMelech, right? David HaMelech, he was told that he was going to die on Shabbat. And what was the story? The Malach HaMavet couldn't touch him. He couldn't get near him. And the day when it was time for Shabbat, when it was time to kill David HaMelech, what did he do? He had to go outside. David HaMelech was learning every Shabbat from the beginning of Shabbat to the end of Shabbat.
Yeah, he shook the
and when he was learning,
he shook the tree.
Oh, very, he shook the tree. So when he was learning, the Malach HaMavet couldn't touch him. And Malach HaMavet said he had to distract him. Tried to distract him to stop him from learning. So he shake the tree, made the wind blow. And David HaMelech, he saw something strange. What's the noise? Something was going on. And he got up to see what happened. As he got up and he left, the Malach tripped him up, and that's how he died. But if he wouldn't have stopped learning, he wouldn't have died. Right? It's a big secret for long lives. To go learn Torah. When you want to do something safe, the best thing to do, you're going to learn Torah, and no one can touch you. At least for the next hour, we're all going to be alive. We're learning Torah. No. So the question is, if you have 24,000 Talmidim learning, everyone's learning Torah, where's the koach, where's the power of Torah shemagen u'matzil? Do you see the question? Do you have a question? Small question.
Yeah.
So now, B'chawad, I want to hear your answer. I have an answer, but I would like to hear what you have to say. B'chawad, now.
Like another answer, a part of שלא נהגו כבוד זה בזה.
Yeah, but why is that a reason that the Torah is not protecting? The Torah is a protection. Right? David HaMelech was on his own. Right? He wasn't did anything bad.
But the protection for who? If you have someone who is apikoros, or you have someone that is goy, who is studying Torah, So it's I think there is a certain assumption when you say Magenu Matzil. It's
Okay.
it depends on what it's Reshit Chochma Yirat Hashem. It's first of all you need to be afraid and you need to have be respectful and you need to come with the right attitude. It's not just studying Torah because it's a textbook. It's how would I put it? It's the transcript of your life, right?
Absolutely.
It's
How do you explain the Talmidim of Rabbi Akiva?
How can I explain?
Yeah, the question is, obviously there were, Anashim Tzadikim, Talmidim of Rabbi Akiva, Geonim. Yeah, none of them were apocryphal, nothing. The Gemara says they were very good, very, very holy people, and the only thing was wrong, no longer covered bazeh. So where is that?
But that there are different ways to explain it from the simplest level. So if the Talmidim of Rabbi Akiva treated each other this way, and all the people would look at them and say, if they're allowed to behave like this, so we are obviously allowed. So there is the personal example, because the Talmidim of Rabbi Akiva are leaders, right? Second, I'm not sure when Rabbi Akiva said that "Ve'afta l'reacha kamocha" the klal gadol.
Very good.
Before, after, but if Rabbi Akiva, the rabbi, said "Ve'afta l'reacha kamocha klal gadol" "Ve'afta l'reacha kamocha," it begins with kavod. That's the minimum, the most basic thing you can do. So basically, they've missed the point.
No, absolutely. So Gela, definitely true. That's the Gemara says explicitly that it's because the nagu kavod that does it. But I want to hear making a connection. Why does that stop the shield? Where it seems like the battery to protection of the magen of the Torah, in its root has to be, there's got to be respect over there. And if you don't have respect, then you don't have the magen. So that's what I'm trying to kind of to explain over here. May looks like he's thinking about something.
Maybe.
You have something to add, Meir?
So I was going to say that if you're not giving kavod, I'm not saying this is the reason. I'm saying one reason could be because not giving kavod is a source could be pride.
Okay.
Or not giving kavod to Talmid Chacham is not giving kavod to Torah.
So
no,
a person who's not giving kavod because of pride, there isn't space for Hashem there. Because he's filled up with himself. The other idea I was gonna say is derech eretz kadma laTorah.
Very good. And therefore,
so if the derech eretz isn't there, and it's supposed to come first, that means the Torah that's coming after is not. I mean, if you follow it through, it's not.
So
I think it like. Yeah, just like to finalize it, I think it's like, maybe they lamdu Torah, but the way they learn Torah, it wasn't validated. It's like, if you pray and you don't put let's say if you don't wear a kippah, so in a way, maybe you're missing the mitzvah for praying. So maybe they learn Torah, but for some reason their learning wasn't validated because of after l'reacha kamocha, don't nagu kavod ze bazeh. Basically, they learn Torah, but it wasn't valid, so it couldn't protect them.
What was missing? Why is that a problem? So that's what we're trying to answer. Listen, we're all saying good things. Gilad, you said that they were lacking in kavod for the Torah. Because if you don't have kavod for your friend who's learning Torah, then you don't have kavod for Torah. This actually the Maharal says that. He explains that example. He says that specifically, that you don't have the kavod for the Torah. We're supposed to have respect for anyone who teaches us even one letter, right? We don't know Perkei Avot. Someone who teaches you already one halacha in Torah, one thing in Torah, you already need to put in the Mori ve'Rabbi. So, and if they have a zilzul in the Torah, in the Talmidei Chachamim, it's zul and kavod for the Torah. So if you don't have kavod for the Torah, so how can the Torah be a protection for you? Also, I like what you said about Ga'ava, that there's no room for Hashem. Especially we say that the Torah, the koach of the Torah is Hashem he put himself in the Torah. Ana nafshi katvit yavit means in the Oraita. Kuchabrichu ve'oraita chadhu. And when we're learning Torah, we're studying, Kadosh Baruch Hu. But if you have maybe Ga'ava, then there's no reason for Hashem to be there, and you don't have the protection of Hashem, the Kol HaChosim Bo. Very nice ideas. I'm going to introduce you to my idea, and then you tell me what you think of this. Okay, I'm going to bring you a Midrash. Midrash Tanchuma. And this is the Midrash Tanchuma says the Koach of the Torah. The Koach of the Torah in Am Yisrael is Ba'achdut. Okay, I'm going to read you the Lashon of the Midrash in Tanchuma. This I found this one in Sefer Yismach Moshe. כל אמרת אלוקי צרופה, רצה לומר, כשיש אחדות בישראל, when there is unity in עם ישראל, שאז כל התורה מצורפת, that's when all the Torah is combined. אז, then and only then, אז מגן הוא לכל החוסים בו. When is the Torah a protection? When is there a safety, a security? אז מגן היא לחוסים בו, when כל עם ישראל is אחדות. ואין כל אומה ולשון יכולה לשלוט בהם. No nation in the world, no nation, כל אומה ולשון, a nation or country יכולה לשלוט בהם, no one can touch them. And it says in פסוק in ישעיה, והיה לך השם לאור עולם, מתי בזמן שתהיו כולם אגודה אחת. This is the מדרש. חיים כולכם היום, one second. Yeah, let's see that. He says, what's the power of Am Yisrael in Aguda Achat? I don't know if I've mentioned this before. What's a kanim? Kanim is a stick, a bamboo stick. Okay? And this is the Midrash says, no ba'olam. Im adam notel aguda shel kanim. If you take a whole bunch of reeds, of kanim, sticks, bamboos, and you try and break it, it's very difficult to break it in one shot because they're all thick, they're all holding each other. But if you separate them one by one, a little child, it snaps it, little pencil, think about it, one pencil, you can snap it. Take a whole packet of pencils and try and break them. It's very difficult to break it. But you see, what's the power? That's the good power of Aguda Achat. V'chen אתה מוצא, אין ישראל ניגלים. When is it going to be the Geulah? When are we going to be redeemed? When is going to come Mashiach? And we're going to come in Eretz Yisrael, איש אחד בלב אחד, שכולן יהיו אגודה אחת. אין ישראל נגלין עד שיהיו כולן אגודה אחת, שנאמר בימים המה, בעת ההיא נאום השם, יבואו בני ישראל ובני יהודה יחדיו, כי שהן אגודים מקבלים פני השכינה. That's how we can come and accept פני המשיכה, or שכינה of Mashiach. So that's the second part of the Midrash. But I'm going to go back to the first part of the Midrash. The first part of the Midrash says that the power of the Torah, and this is very clearly, שיש אחדות בישראל, if there's unity, שאז כל התורה מצורפת, then the Torah can be combined, אז מגני לכל החוסים, everything can be connected and everything can be, then it's a protection. So this is what I'm going to explain a little bit. What happens is that the Torah is very vast and large. Not one person cannot learn the whole Torah, but everyone can learn a little bit. And if everyone learns a little bit, and everyone is ba'achdut, so you have the power of all the Torah together. Just to explain that why is that a protection? But if everyone on his own, you have only a little bit of Torah to protect you. You're not connected with everyone else. And there is no achdut. You're just like one stick on its own, which is breakable. But if you're together, that's when you have the power of achdut. What happens when there's a lack of kavod ze bazeh? When there's a zilzul? When a person doesn't appreciate his friend, his fellow Jew, doesn't have the kavod. When there's a lack of kavod, there's a lack of achdut. And if there's a lack of achdut, so then you've got a lack of protection of the Torah. And this is a midrash. Midrash is mufurash. So then obviously it makes sense. There's not going to be protection. I want to share with you a chidah. The chidah, Rabbi Chaim Yosef David Azulai. It says in Masechet in Megillat Esther, ויאמר המן אל אחשוורוש, ישנו עם אחד מפוזר ומפורד בין העמים. Remember this pasuk? What does it mean? Yeshno am echad. There is one nation. Mefuzar u'mefurad ben ha'amim. What's the difference between mefuzar and mefurad?
Mefuzar, it's like
Mefuzar, it's physically, yes. Mefuzar is physically spread it.
Okay, what's mefurad?
Mefurad is split it. So they're not united, the opposite of united.
Oh, very good. So what's the difference? They mean separated, but separated on different levels. Mefuzar means each one is in a different place. It can be mefuzar in a different country, in a different room, in different place. That's mefuzar. What's mefurad? Mefurad means you can have people in the same room, in the same table, sitting down together, but mefurad, there's a distance between them. Each one is separated on their own. And Haman said to Achashverosh, he said, there is one nation, mefuzar, mefurad ben ha'amim. They're separated, they're all over the world, and they're all different countries, and they're in different places, in different cities. But here there's an opportunity to catch the people of Am Yisrael, because they are mefurad, they are separated and not united. If they're not united, then they don't have the power of protection. So this is the time when we can catch them, when they were divided amongst them. Let me just read the lashon of the Chida. הכוונה, ישנו עם אחד שתכלית אומה זו להיות אחדות ביניהם. This is the תכלית of Am Yisrael, to be together, united. וזה קיומם, this is their existence, ויסודם. The secret to their existence is their unity. אבל עתה, now, at this time, opportunity, Haman said, Haman is saying to Achashverosh, you have a special opportunity, special offer, limited at their time, edition of. Right now, they are separated, mefuzar and mefurad. There's sinat chinam amongst them. If there's sinat chinam, now, im al melech tov yechatev la'avdam. This is the time when you can catch them and you can kill them. So we see, of course, there was lots of Torah and there was a lot of protection of Torah. But if there wasn't unity, if there's no nagu kavod zeh bezeh, then the Torah wouldn't be protection for them. And not only that, Hashem said, I don't want this Torah. When Am Yisrael, when they received the Torah, right? In 2 weeks is going to be Chag HaShavuot, Be'ezrat Hashem. And this is the good preparation for Chag HaShavuot. When our fathers were standing under Har Sinai to accept the Torah, he said, "Vayichan Sham Yisrael neged Ahar." What's Vayichan? And Am Yisrael, they camped under the mountain. Vayichan Sham Yisrael neged Ahar. Maze Vayichan? Vayichan is they camped. But why didn't it say Vayachanu and they camped? The Rashi says, famous Rashi. Anyone? Vayichan. That means, why does it say in singular Vayichan and not Vayachanu? Because they were like one person, they were all united. Everyone wanted the Torah. Everyone, felt that they were here for the same purpose, for the same reason. Everyone was, peace and love for each other. And that's why there was unity in Am Yisrael. So that way we explained, we answered the question, how can it be that the Torah didn't protect them? We explained that the whole Torah and the power of Torah, of the power of protection, has to be when there is achdut amongst Am Yisrael. Now, this is okay, on one level, but we have to appreciate we're talking about great tzaddikim. Okay, I don't think everyone was like calling names to each other or b'zilzul b'kavod. What does it mean, b'zilzul b'kavod with each other? So I saw one pshat over here. One pshat. I heard this, and I liked it very much. And he said that what it means. Nagu kavod zeh bezeh. There was a lack in and v'ahavta l'recha kamocha. They didn't love each other as much. That was what Rabbi Akiva said. Rabbi Akiva said, v'ahavta l'recha kamocha zeh klal gadol b'Torah. What's klal gadol b'Torah? That it has to be ahavta l'orecha kamocha in order to have the power of the Torah. There's not going to be any protection of the Torah if there's not going to be ahavta l'orecha kamocha. So, it's a big chiddush what I'm saying, right? Until now we thought, no, nagu kavod zeh bazeh means, they were disrespectful to each other. Now I'm saying, no, they weren't disrespectful. They were very respectful. But it wasn't enough because they didn't have the love there. Now, where do we see that from? I want to show you a pasuk in the Torah. The pasuk says about Yaakov. The pasuk says, excuse me, Vayar Hashem ki senua Leah vayftach et rachma. What does that mean? Hashem saw that Leah ki snua Leah. What does it mean, snua?
Hated.
Hated. What does that mean? Yaakov hated his wife. What does it mean? Ki senua Leah.
Not loved as much.
Oh, very good. How do you know that?
This from that.
Oh, so the Mefarashim say this. Kisna Leah means that she was loved. It's not true. She wasn't hated. But because Yaakov loved Rachel more, of course he loved Leah. Yeah, this is Mefurash. The Radak says it. I think Rashi says it. The Targum Yonatan says it. לא היה יעקב שונא אותה. He didn't hate her, אבל היה אוהב אותה. Yaakov loved Leah. He loved her very much. She was mother to 6 of his children, from the גדולים from the שבטים. He loved her. אלא לפי שהיה אוהב את רחל יותר מלאה, קרא לאה שנואה. That's why the pasuk called her שנואה. So you see here, the Torah uses the term of if you don't love someone enough, it's like you hate him, right? This is a big chidush over here. Right? You think about it, you see Am Yisrael, you say, no, I don't hate anyone. I don't hate anyone. I don't have any feeling of hating Am Yisrael. What? Sinat Chinam? Me? Sinat Chinam? I don't have any Sinat Chinam. I'm good with everyone. Everyone's my friend. But he says that's not what it means. You have to love him. You have to love everyone. What does it mean, love? You have to go out of your way to see you. How would you want someone to treat you? You want someone to come and treat you and welcome you and be your friend, help out. And this is one of the conditions. Torah is the end of Pirkei Avot. It says, "V'ven noseh be'ol chavero." Noseh be'ol chavero. What does that mean? Noseh be'ol chavero. Noseh means to bear the burden of your friend. What does that mean, to bear the burden? You see your friend, and he's not smiling today. So you come up to him and you say, "Hey, what's wrong? What happened?" And he says, "Listen, I need to find a job. It's very difficult. I sent my CV and I don't know how to find it." So you say, "Okay, you wish him the best. Try and cheer him up," and that's it. He's off. Okay, so that's quite a nice friend. You're friendly. You have to cheer him up. You give him a bit of chizuk and emunah. So don't worry, it will come. Everyone should do that. But after that, you carry on your day, and he carries on his day. Now what's the difference? He's the whole day thinking about how he can find his job, and you finished. You moved on to the next thing. You mocked about your own life. It's not your problem. You didn't have to find him a job. But this is where it comes in. Are you still thinking about, maybe I can help him? Maybe I know someone who needs I don't know, let's say he's an accountant. Maybe I know someone who needs an accountant. Maybe I've got friends. Maybe I've got connections. Maybe I can help him in his office. And as you're driving along in the car, or as you're waiting in Mr. Baker to buy your sandwich, or whatever you're doing in the day, do you have that burden that your friend has on your shoulders? Okay, or it could be with anything, any issue that he's finding. He needs to find an apartment. He's kicked out of his house and he needs to find a house. So do you have that? Are you thinking about him the whole time? If you're thinking about him as a friend, now opportunity, you think, suddenly you see somebody who wants to rent an apartment, and you remember your friend is looking for an apartment, so you make the connection. Noseh be'ol chavero, you're helping 2 Jews. That's when you love Am Yisrael. If it would be your son, or if it's your brother, you would be doing that. So all of Am Yisrael is your brother. So where's the love that you have for Am Yisrael? And this is really a level of ahavat of Am Yisrael. Everyone can do some level, especially with shidduchim. Yeah, everyone they're trying to get married. Okay, so I'm married. Okay, that's good. Yeah, okay, my brother's married. Okay, but what about the guy next to me? He's already 27 years old and he's looking. Should try to set him up. Okay, so if you're a good person, you spend about 5 seconds thinking about it. No, yeah, and you wish him b'atzlacha, but there's something that you can do. Maybe think about someone who is suitable, and if there's no one suitable, add him to your list. everyone should have a list of people that they're praying for, people of davening for. Everyone has the koach of tefillah, and tefillah is ba'achdut, and that's something which everyone can do. And this is, the love of Am Yisrael that we can have. Now you see, Rabbi Akiva, this is what he preached. He took this lesson for himself, and he says, everyone says, "Zekra gadol b'Torah v'ahavta kamocha." So now we explain these talmidim that they all died. Could be that they had the respect for each other and they learned together, and they were they said good morning to each other, and they didn't hate. But it could be they were missing the love for each other. One of them had the problem. It's not my problem. It's your problem. Yeah, you don't have kids. Okay, try and sort out. Maybe I can do something. I should pray for you. Everyone in the group should be praying for each other. If someone needs help, everyone should be helping them. And this is, the love we need to have for Am Yisrael. And I just want to, very interesting, look in the Pirkei Avot, when you think about this. The Talmidim of Rabbi Akiva, listen to what they teach. Rabbi Elazar ben Shamua, he was one of the Talmidim of Rabbi Akiva. What did he say? Yehi chavod talmidecha chaviv alecha kishelcha. The kavod of your Talmid, your student, it should be chaviv alecha kishelcha, like your own kavod. וכבוד חבריך, and the kavod of your friend, כמורה רבך, like your teacher. ומורה רבך כמורה שמיים. So you see, the Talmid of Rabbi Akiva was also teaching about the kavod of your friend. He was following on the lesson that Rabbi Akiva had learned. Rabbi Meir was another Talmid, and he says, Rabbi Meir Omer, הווה שפל רוח בפני כל אדם. Humble yourself in front of everyone. Have that respect to someone else. Don't think that you're better than them. Right? Like Meir was saying about Gava. He said, humble yourself. Who are you? No, not that great. Not much better than anyone else. So think about that. Rabbi Yossi Omer, another Talmid Rabbi Yossi Omer, Yehi mamon chaverecha, chaviv alecha kishelcha. What does that mean? יהי ממון חבריך, חביב עליך כשלך.
So you should be happy for your good, for your friend's good fortune.
Oh, so very good. So Mao was saying, if you see your friend, he makes money or has got a good deal, you should be happy for him. But it also means chaviv alecha. It means that if it's costing him money and you can save him money, you should think about it. Okay. Maybe I can save him money. Maybe I can help him. If I know he wants to buy something and I know there's a cheaper way of getting it, so I should help him out. You got to get a good deal. Like Jews are good.
You see his car rolling down a hill.
Yeah, you should. If you can see it, that's the Talmud Adam Rechab. But if you can see there's a way you can help your friend, help him in saving money, or help him to invest his money or save money in any way that you can do it, so you can. Yeah, you help him. Yi chaviv alecha. Like if it's your own money. That's Rabbi Yossi, also Talmid of Rabbi Akiva. The Rabbi Eliezer was Rabo Shel Rabbi Akiva. Rabo. He was the teacher of Rabbi Akiva, and he says in the Gemara of Brachot, Tanu Rabbanan Kishalach Chala Rabbi Eliezer, when he was ill and he was dying on his deathbed, Nechnesu Talmidav. All the students came in, they came to visit him. אמרו לרבנו, למדנו אורחות חיים, teach us the way of life, ונזכה בהן לעולם הבא. How can we merit to go into חיי העולם הבא? אמר להם, היזהרו בכבוד חבריכם.
Yeah, and that's after they haven't spoken with him. They haven't spoken with him for a long time.
What do you mean?
So he was. Well, never mind. There is an interesting story there with Rabbi Eliezer.
Rabbi Eliezer, but I understood Rabbi Eliezer. He was the teacher of Rabbi Akiva.
Yeah, he was the first rabbi. Yeah.
Okay, so before Rabbi Akiva, he told him, "Listen, be careful, b'kavod chaverechem." So saying on the lines of the teaching of Rabbi Akiva, or maybe Rabbi Akiva was another step. He was saying, "Be careful of the kavod." Rabbi Akiva said, not just have kavod, but go another step and love them. And I think that's the lesson that Rabbi Akiva took. That it's not just enough for the kavod, but also has to be about ahava. especially in the Zohar Kadosh. And this is, the time of the Rashbi, of, Sunday night. The Rashbi in the Zohar, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, he writes, "B'inyanei ahava v'dibuk chaverim." He's saying everyone, the love that I have between friends. And he talks about the importance of it. For growth in the Torah, there has to be love and achdut within friends. And the Arizal, who really is in the Talmidim of the, or he was mafitz, he spread the light of the Torah of the Zohar. He actually writes in Shara Kavanot, and he writes it as a Hagdama, as an introduction or a preface to the Tefillah. And this is actually in the Siddur. Every Siddur has this Tefillah of the Arizal before the Tefillah, before you pray. When you open the Siddur, you start praying. There's something you have to do before you start praying. And this is the
yeah.
Oh, very good. קודם שאדם יסדר תפילתו בבית הכנסת, before he starts פרשת העקדה, צריך שיקבל עליו מצוות עשה.
כן, ואהבת לרעך כמוך.
ואהבת לרעך כמוך. ויכוון, יעשת כוונה, לאהוב כל אחד מבני ישראל. Love every one of עם ישראל כנפשו, like your own self. כי על ידי זה תעלה תפילתו כלולה מכל התפילות ישראל. And this is another example of you see the achdut when it comes together. What's the point of doing ahava? Because then you kolel. Your tefillah is not part of a prat. It's klal. It's going out together. Listen, I love Am Yisrael. Our mind neshama is together with everyone. You have much more power in your tefillah, right? What's the point of davening in the minyan? Why you have to have the minyan? Because when you're on your own, you're a lone soldier. You're by yourself. But when you have achdut, when you're minyan. Or when you have this Ahavat Israel, you're coming in with the army. You're coming with the army of Am Yisrael. Everyone is in together. Think about the power of the tefillah. And this is what Dari said. Listen, this is the secret for the tefillah. כאיש אחד בלב אחד. ותוכל לעלות מעלות ולעשות פרי בפרט אהבת חברים העוסקים בתורה. Especially amongst the friends that learn together Torah. לתלמיד החכמים, in the כולל, in the yeshiva. כי צריך כל אחד ואחד לאכול לעצמו כאילו עבר אחד מן החברים שלו. Now, this is a beautiful, a way to understand it. You need to look at your friend. It doesn't mean your friend. It was your fellow. Okay. He calls it as one of the limbs of your body. Ever. So let's say, okay, we're all friends now. When in a group we have a shiur, we learn Torah with. So we're like, okay, we're all the same, but these people are different. Okay, there's people maybe more tzaddikim, more religious than us. Maybe people who are much less, less tzaddikim or less than us. Maybe some are different, and you can look at them in different ways. And you say, listen, he's not my friend. Don't hate him, don't love him. He's okay, yeah. I'm not going to invite him to my house. Okay, you don't need to do that. But how should I explain it? How can you bring yourself to love someone who's so different to you? Maybe he comes from a different country, he doesn't even speak your language, totally different background, and you still need to love him like he's Am Yisrael. Okay, maybe let's say he's not even religious, maybe. Okay, so he's not even Torah. How do you want me to love somebody who's not keeping their Torah? How do you want me to love him? Maybe he doesn't talk nicely. I don't like the way he talks. Yeah, you have that. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like the way he talks. He doesn't talk nicely. He's great. He talks offensive. He's offensive and he makes jokes.
But it's not really a posel b'mumo posel. It's not really when you see something that you don't like. It's mainly a trigger for something in yourself that you don't like. If you are complete with your Torah, with your emunah, with your life, so you don't see these things.
If you're complete in yourself, you don't see these things.
You. On the contrary, you are strong enough to
override it, oversee it, overlook it.
It's more than overlook.
I just want to give an example. What I think about.
It's to see the good, not the bad. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, excellent.
To find the point of to find the common denominator, to find the chibur,
exactly.
Not the perud.
What Gilad is saying is you have to look at the positive side. The good side of it. So I just want to explain how can we look at the good even if we see something bad. So I'm just giving this as an example. We have a community, and there's people that you like in the community, you can respect them. You know, you can see a good Jew, full of emunah, full of talk. And you see someone, he's a Jew, okay, maybe he's religious, yeah, he comes with feeling, but you don't like the way he talks. He's abusive, you know, he's very, it's not respectful the way he talks, and you don't like him as well, right? So that's quite, you know, it's a legitimate reason, maybe. But the Torah says still we have to love him. Now, if there's something that you don't like about him, I'll just give one example. And, you know, Gilad said you don't look at that. Look at the positive side of him, right? That's right, Gilad?
Yeah, well, again, we need to be careful not to make it too simple, because some people, you know, it's not about my subjective preference, because it's not polite enough or sophisticated enough. When someone is rude, okay,
yes.
so, and אל תיטור בלבבך, you need to להוכיח אותו if you think something is wrong. You are not allowed to ליטור. You must להוכיח אותו, yes, to tell him.
You must do, okay. Under certain conditions, nachon.
Yes.
You're supposed to do. I'm just giving an example like this.
And again, that's as an individual, not as someone who's leading the community. When he jeopardizes the unity of the community, that's a very different case.
I'm not talking about leader in the community. I'm just talking about one member of the community. You know, that you see something negative in him. Okay? And how do we look at the positive side and love him, even though he's got some negative faults? That's what I'm talking about here now, in this situation.
Yeah, but it's not also לדון כל אדם לכף זכות, and that's what we know. We do. There are circumstances. You never know why. Why behave like this? Why? How can you be judgmental? It's very simple.
Be judgmental. You see, not to be judgmental.
No, not be judgmental. That's the thing we should do.
We are not in a position to be judgmental.
No, being judgmental is something very simple. It's something very easy. The thing
not to be judgmental. No, I'm asking how can you love someone that you see that the behavior is wrong? You disagree with his attitude in life, and you're supposed to love him at the same time. And you think that this is someone who's got very negative character. You would not want to be like that. You would want your children to be like that. And he's sitting next to you in a tefillah, and you're just thinking, I've got to love this guy. So you're right, you're supposed to be not thinking. But there's a way to look at it. And I just want to mention what the Ariya Kadosh says about this. And he says, look, he says everyone should be like ke'echad me'evarim. You have to love him as if he's part of your body. Now let me just think about it. Take this analogy. Okay, think about your body. You know, you got your brain, your heart, all the limbs of your body, and you do anything to protect it, to look after your health. If there's a slight danger in health, so you do everything there is. Okay, now, you know, it's chas v'shalom, but somebody's got, let's say, you know, he's got a problem with his kidneys, and he needs to do something, and it's an operation which costs tens of thousands of pounds. He would raise the money and do whatever it needs to save his kidney. He loves his kidney. It's his, right? The same way he loves any part of his body. Now, there's parts of your body which are more chashuv. You know, you have your brain, your heart, you know, your hands. They're very important. Your hands. You need your hands. But there's part of your body which is less important or less covered. For example, let's say your nostrils. Okay. Your nostrils or your toenails, yeah, it's not so covered, it's not so nice, but you still love them just as much. You look after them. You know, you didn't say that's the best part of your body, not the nicest part of your body, but you still love them, and you would do for them whatever needs to be done for them. You would do for them. So the Ariya Kadosh says this is the analogy of how you're supposed to love every one of your friends, every one of our Israel. Okay, so there's some people in Am Yisrael, you really like them. You see, you really admire them for the diligence. Maybe you see that they come on time for the tefillah, always the first people early, or you see the love they have for the Torah, or the love for the Talmid Chachamim. You see how much they give charity. You look up to them. They're very respectful people. And then some people maybe they're less, and you see the negative parts of them, and you think about, but this is part of my body. No, okay, so maybe this is the part which is behind my ears, but I still love him. He's still my friend. He's still part of me. He's part of Klal Yisrael. when you think about that analogy, it's much easier to accept people. Okay, so with their faults, wherever they are, but they're still part of me. And this is what the Rashbi says, and this is what he teaches the Arya. So this is really the after that we have to do for loving Am Yisrael and everyone being mishtatef. Go on, Meir.
So using that analogy, if you take into account the person who you're just thinking about a bit in your day to see if you can help them, and then the person who there's something which really bothers you. So if you use the analogy of your body, here's a part of your body you need to think about, and this part of your body you like, if something is really wrong, the one you deal with first and show most attention to is the one that's really wrong, not the one where you're just thinking about a bit to help. So the one you give more help to is the one that bothers you the most, so you got two guys in shul, one who needs a shidduch and one whose behavior is whatever. Then the one you help the most is him.
The one who needs more help.
Yeah.
No, nice analogy, nice. Why was he in more danger?
Yeah.
That was really nice. But yeah, very good. And this is what Ari says, ויכוון לאהוב כל אחד מישראל. ובפרט אהבת חברים שלנו, צריך כל אחד ואחד ממנו לכלול עצמו. Especially in the community of the תלמידים, the Ari says to his own students, he's telling them, be very careful. כאילו הוא עבר אחד מן החברים האלו. As if he's one of you, part of your own body. ומאוד הזין רבנו. He's very careful about this. ומאיזה חבר חס ושלום עומד בצרה, if any of them have any difficulty, או יש לו איזה חולי בביתו, או בבניו, one of his children, ישתתף בצרו, ויתפלל עליו, you have to pray for him. וכן בכל דבריו ישתתף לכל חבריו עמו. In every situation you should pray with him. And this is really the message of the Ari. So maybe we'll summarize for tonight, what we learned tonight. We started off about the Talmidim of Rabbi Akiva, how the Torah Shebaal Peh comes from them. And Hashem was not interested in the Torah. Hashem said, I don't need you and I don't need your Torah. However holy and kadosh the Torah is, I'm not interested. If there's not the kavod zeh lazeh, if there's not the kavod and achdut, then I don't want it. That's what Hashem said. So we explained how can it be that there's no protection of the Torah? The Torah protects, David HaMelech. And we said we brought the Midrash. The Midrash says that the power of the Torah to protect is only when there's achdut, when it's together, unity. We explained the Chidah said by Haman HaRasha, Amefuzar Mefurad Ben Amim. When there's no unity amongst them, they're not strong, it can make them fall apart. And they break down, there's no shield. And the Torah cannot protect them. And we explained that when there's no kavod, there's not going to be achdut. They're separated, it's easy to come down. And let's remember the Midrash that says that is how the Mashiach will come, and that's how we bring the Shekhinah. But it says, Ki ish echad belev echad. Like we were on Am Yisrael, that's how we receive the Torah then. This is how we need to receive the Torah in Chag HaShavuot. And this is how we can bring Mashiach. And we explain kavod doesn't just mean respect, but we have to be ahavta l'recha kamocha, zeh klal b'gadol b'Torah. We have to love. Like Leah was called Snoah because she wasn't loved as much. We have to love all our friends. Everyone who can help out. Go out, step over our way. Like Gilad said, don't judge them. Don't be judgmental. If you see somebody, overlook it. Love it. If you have a child, and he's got some faults, but you love the child. You can oversee his faults. He's got a list of faults. Everyone has a list of faults, but you still do everything for the child. He's a cheeky little boy, okay? And he calls you names, but you'll do everything for him because you love him, and you'll excuse that whatever his faults are. Okay? You'll try and help him, you'll try and guide him, you'll try and be mochiach him, but it doesn't stop you from doing everything for him. Whatever is in your power. And let's remember what the Ari Kadosh says, that this is our power before we tefillah, to energize our tefillah and give them the full power that it has. To unite our nefesh with Am Yisrael. Everyone has to say before tefillah, I only mekabel mitzvah say, after recha kamocha. I'm Yehudi, and if I can do anything to help another Jew, I will do it. I will do it for them. And this is the power that we have. This is what we have to mekabel the mitzvah. And this is all the Talmidim of Rabbi Akiva, what they taught us. And if you remember this, B'ezrat Hashem, Zekal Gadol B'Torah. Our tefillah will be better. We will be better people for that. We'll be more part of Am Yisrael. better to accept the Torah on Chag HaShavuot, B'ezrat Hashem. And this is the message of the Rashbi, or the Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, which he explained in the Zohar. Be very careful with this, and this is how we can bring Mashiach. So B'ezrat Hashem, we should have the nice chizuk in V'ahavta L'reacha Kamocha.
Amen.
I'd like to take this opportunity to say I love all of you. Thank you very much for doing
We
this.
love you too, Rabbi.
I love your ideas. I love sharing my ideas with you, and I love this is not when you hear a nice chiddush in the Torah. Now maybe I'll take this opportunity as well to thank Meir. Meir sends on the PY Torah the daily chizuk, and I must say I very much enjoy listening to the daily chizuk. And especially when he adds in, this is a good one, so I make sure I listen to that one. And I enjoy the chizuk, and I think, if you love somebody, you share with them also your ideas in Torah, you listen to my chidush, give them that big chizuk, and that can help them along during the day. So I thank you for that as well.
Sure.
And I wish you all Shabbat Shalom, and smachot.
Shalom. תודה רבה.
Thank you, Rabbi. Thank you very
Amen.
much.
חזק וברוך.
חזק
שבת
וברוך.
שלום.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.